Hey there, YouTube. Mr. Lubufu here, and, well, apparently there's an ambulance going on outside, but that doesn't involve me, because we're here with the complete set review for Born of the Gods. Now, the focus primarily of the set review will be a discussion for limited play to help you guys do well on your sealed events and draft. So we're just going to go ahead and hop right in. Remember that in the draft format, it goes Born of the Gods, Theros, Theros, so this is more like a light splash on the draft format. So the first card, Uncommon Acolyte's Reward, I think it's okay. Like, it can be one of those combat tricks that can just absolutely blow people out, and they're like, oh, well, didn't see that one coming. Easily be a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1. Probably not 3-for-1. Probably a 2-for-1 if you're just negating one of their spells and killing one of their dudes with it. But that's that. A Cronin Phalanx, yeah, it's a 3-3 Vigilance for 4. Now, from what I've noticed from observing the power toughness of all the creatures, so Theros still has 4/5s, and 4/5s are by far the hardest creatures to get rid of. And in this format, in Born of the Gods, there's a lot of 3-power creatures, so having 4 toughness is quite relevant. However, a Cronin Phalanx has the property of creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It gives you a mana sink, but I don't think it's fantastic. As opposed to a Crow and Skyguard, where you're like, oh, Wingsteed Rider? This is new Wingsteed Rider. Yeah, I mean, it starts out with 1 power less, but it has flying, it has heroic, and it gets +1/+1 counters. It comes down a turn earlier on the curve, which makes it, I think, stronger. I think this is one of the best commons in the whole set for limited, so definitely this card is really good. Archetype of Courage, another really bonkers creature in white. This card is insane. It also only costs 3 mana, and giving your creatures first strike in white is huge. Yeah, in my opinion, one of the top uncommons of the set. And so we go from a top common to a top uncommon to the top mythic. Breve, King of Oreskos, I think he'll see standard play as well. He just needs to find a home to fit him in. And in limited, he's bonkers. Just play him. So then we have Dawn to Dusk, which is interesting. You get to get an enchantment back and or destroy target enchantment. It's only really worth it if you could do both. 4 mana destroy an enchantment is kind of expensive, given there are a lot more enchantments in this set than in Theros. But it seems like it's a possible sideboard card for limited. We have Idelano Countless Battles, and well, the Eidolons step it up in this set. This card is pretty good, actually. In the white weenie deck or the white heroic deck, it fits perfectly because you're just playing creatures and you're playing auras, and it definitely seems like, maybe not necessarily like a bomb rare, but it seems like a good one, at least. I'm not a fan of Elite Skirmisher that much. It's a 3/1, and as I said, a lot of 3-power creatures in this set. There's just a lot of them, which makes cards like Ness and Asp a lot better from the original set. And yeah, you can tap target creature with this guy, but he feels a lot like Arena Athlete in the set that oh, you're basically making sure a creature can't block. The 3 embodied is kind of nice if you're really aggressive, but I'm not terribly impressed by him. As far as Radiance is kind of a bad heroic enabler. I mean, it only costs 1, which is nice, but being able to colorless white tap, you gain 3 life, that's not worth it. I do not recommend you play it. Excoriate, I probably butchered the pronunciation, but it's too early for me to care. 4 mana, exile target tapped creature. This is pretty good removal. It is sorcery speed, but it can deal certain things. Like, I mean, it's removal. It's not the best, but it's almost unconditional. We have Fated Retribution, which is one of those cards when you're playing limited, you have to be careful if they're playing white and they're like slow rolling. I was like, oh, what could they have? This is the Wrath effect. It's for all creatures and planeswalkers, and it can be done at instant speed too. So definitely, you know, a powerful rare. The fact that it costs 7 does kind of diminish it, but it's still okay. Ghostblade Eidolon. As I said, the Eidolon stepped it up, and this one is no exception. 6 mana +1/+1 and double strike is nothing to scoff at. And a 1/1 double strike for 3, that's, you know, Fencing Ace did it one better. But in a set full of combat tricks, like we already saw how the 1/2 double strike, the 2-headed Cerberus, like that card saw play. Because you could just slip something on it and then it's bow, 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 you're dead. This card is really good. I like it a lot for limited. Glimpse of the Sun God, one of these effects normally comes out every few sets, and it's always like, oh, you can set up a blowout, and occasionally it's exactly the card you need, but in general, I'm not too impressed by it. I think Inspired is it's like just an actual trap mechanic. It's not something that you want to fall into. You have to put so much work into it, and this is like a 1/1 that maybe you pay 3 and get 2 1/1s. Like, it's probably one of the better Inspired ones for limited, but you can't trigger it the first time you get it, because you're gonna play it on turn 2. Actually, if they play no creature on turn 2 or turn 3, then yeah, okay, you get 2 1/1s, which, you know, that can be okay, but I'm not impressed by the mechanic. Greatheart is our Pillar Field Ox. Not gonna say much more about that if you know anything about Pillar Field Ox. Griffin Dreamfinder. So this is another expensive 1/4 flyer, which the body can be relevant. And returning an enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand is not the worst thing in the world. I really don't like it that much, to be completely honest, but that's just me. Hero of Iros. It can be one of those cards that you get to build around and see how it is. I'm not sure how it will act in limited, to be completely honest. We just have to see how it plays out. My gut tells me it's not going to be bonkers. It's just going to be like one of those rares. They're like, oh, maybe I'll play it, maybe I won't. Hold at bay, prevent next 7 damage dealt to target creature or player. Yeah. I don't like those sort of effects, to be completely honest. Loyal Pegasus is like War Falcon, except not really. I mean, it's a 2/1 flyer for 1, which is not bad. It's very aggressively costed. But can't attack or block alone means you're going to have to wait a little bit to make the most out of it. Given 2/1 flyers, pretty good in this format. Cough, cough, Vaporkin, cough. Mortal's Ardor. This is one of those cards that's like screams heroic enabler, and it's actually very good. +1/+1 and lifelink is going to be incredibly relevant in a lot. I think this is another premier common in white. I don't like Nyxborn Shieldmate that much. Yeah, it's very cheap to bestow. Very cheap. It's very aggressively costed there. But +1/+2 isn't that big. It only is really useful if you have a 3/3 and you make it to a 4/5, because 4/5s are just impossible to deal with. I think that Orozco Sun Guide's pretty bad. It's just a bear, and sometimes you just want a bear, so you'll take it. Ornitharch is one of those cards that, like, my gut tells me, like, it could be good, it might be good in limited, because if they don't pay tribute, like, it's, Cloudgoat Ranger, not really, that's not Cloudgoat Ranger, it's I mean, it's a 3/3 with 2 1/1 flyers, like, it's 5 power, either way. The question is, like, if they do, so if it comes into play with 2 +1/+1 counters, it's almost certain that they have removal for it, which is kind of the downside to it. I still think it could be quite good. My gut tells me that it's not like a premier uncommon, but it's a good one. I don't like Plea for Guidance. 6 mana to search for 2 enchantment cards is a lot for limited. You have to have really good ones to fetch up. Revoke Existence. This is going to be very, very, very good in this format. Much like how Shatter was in Scars of Mirrodin, Revoke Existence, good common. Silent Sentinel, pre-release promo for white, and it's pretty solid. I mean, it's a big body, and returns enchantments from graveyards to the battlefield. Can't complain about that. Spirit Labyrinth is not as good as it might be in Constructed than in Limited. It's basically a 3/1, which is very aggressively costed, yes. So maybe you just want to play if you just want to turn creatures sideways and kill them. I do not like Sunbound at all. And Vanguard of Breve is not bad, actually. I mean, it's another bear, but it's a bear that can maybe poop out cat tokens. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and keep your eyes open for further parts. Thank you guys for again.